A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. Of course her parents don't have a problem with me being black. She's past the wall. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
So you got drunk at a frat party, then fucked the football team? You're not a rape victim, sweetheart.
You're a slut. What's up, guys? It's your man Donovan Sharp, and welcome to this edition of TSR. At Donovan_Sharp is where you guys can find me on Twitter. And if you want to listen to past episodes, you can find the archive on donovansharp.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and of course right here on YouTube. You can support the show by bookmarking the Amazon link on my homepage and doing all your Amazon shopping through that link, or you can contribute at the bottom of the page. If you have questions, comments, show ideas, or personal stories you'd like to share, simply go to the contact tab on my homepage and drop me your thoughts. And if you listen to TSR on iTunes, guys, be sure to leave me a review if you enjoy the content and get something out of it. Leaving a review will really help my iTunes rankings and help to increase the profile of the show. So if you iTunes listeners could do that for me and leave a review, I would greatly appreciate that. It's common knowledge here in the manosphere that even though it's great to sleep with lots of pretty women, it's great to slay sluts, and that, you know, all women are like that, and you should never get married, this or that or the other, it would be disingenuous of any of us to not admit that being with one quality woman that you can rely on beats fucking a bunch of sluts any day of the week, okay? Ask any man who's good with women. And listen, man, like there are exceptions to the rule. Some men are just some men don't really have any interest in long-term relationships. These men just want to slay sluts until their dicks shrivel up and they're 6 feet under. No problem. But those men are the exception. Men who have red pill awareness, 5%ers, even we can admit that even though it's fun to you know, talk to pretty girls and fuck pretty girls and this and that and the other, that it is a much better life to have a relationship of consequence with a woman. The problem is that women who are worth committing to these days here in 2017 are few and far between. So even though we say things like all women are like that, I've said in the past, yes, there are women out there that have certain qualities that make them worth at least putting in the running for commitment. You don't get with a girl, spend, you know, a month or two with her and decide, okay, she's hot, I love fucking her, and she seems to do what I say. Let's let's be boyfriend and girlfriend, let's move in together, let's get married. That is extremely unwise, because at that point you still don't know much about her. There's still a vetting process that you have to that you have to put her through to make sure that she at least has potential to be a quality woman. There are many women out there that have no potential to be a quality woman. They're beautiful, they're this and that and the other, they suck your cock, they swallow your loads, etc., etc. But, you know, you learn a few things about them later on down the line, and you think to yourself, oh, good God, no, there's no way this woman could ever be my girlfriend, my main chick, my wife, or God forbid, the mother of my kids. Well, there are a few things, however, there are actually many questions that men can ask or learn about a woman that will let you know if a woman is worth committing to, if a woman is worth spending time with outside of sex. And listen, let's go ahead and get the first thing out of the way. Obviously, if you want to commit to a woman, she has to be attractive, okay? You have to want to fuck her. I said in a previous episode that no matter what kind of skills, no matter what kind of agency, her domestic skills, if she's kind, if she's feminine, if she's submissive, if she's genuinely kind, if she's generous, etc., none of that matters if we do not want to fuck her, okay? Listen, you can say, oh, that's so sad. Hey, you know what? That's life, man. Natural fucking selection. If a woman isn't attractive, she's not going to get a chance to show off her domestic skills or her or the qualities that she has that would make her at least a half decent significant other. So the first thing you have to, and it doesn't take us long. You look at a girl, okay, yes, I want to fuck her. Okay, that's out of the way. You start fucking her. Well, as things start to become a little more serious, maybe she's a friend with benefit. Maybe at that point, you guys start to see each other semi exclusively, etc., etc. There are things that you need to know and ask her. And you don't sit her down interview style and say, okay, I need to ask you these questions. No, just every once in a while, ask her a question or two, just out of conversation. And then, of course, a lot of things that you'll learn, you won't have to quiz her on. She'll, I mean, if you spend enough time with a woman, you're going to learn a lot of these things. So what I'm going to do, and these are all just kind of random. There's no particular order to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys my personal list of things that you should know about a woman, things that have to be true or false about a woman that makes her worth committing to outside of just sex. So let's go ahead and get to it. The first thing you need to understand, or you need to ask, is what is her relationship like with her father and her family. Okay, if she had, and nobody has the perfect relationship with their family. Families have feuds. Brothers and sisters feud. I mean, my family's much the same way. One of my sisters and my mom, one year they get along, the next year they want to kill each other. This is normal, and I'm sure the vast majority of you guys out there, have similar issues in your family. But if she has a good relationship with her mother and her father and her siblings, this most likely means that she values tradition and the concept of a nuclear family. If she does not have a good relationship with her family, if she comes from a broken home, if she was raised by a single mother, her values are fucked up. She thinks that she's going to be happy in a feminist relationship where she can be friends with other men or try to work or fuck her way up the career ladder, have masculine traits, things of that nature. So, if a woman has a good relationship with her family, that is definitely a good thing. That's a good sign. The next thing is kind of related with the first one is, does she have respect for men? If a woman does not have an inherent respect for men, she will never make a good significant other. Um, Women who are raised by single mothers often don't have respect for men, because a lot, especially these days, because mothers, all they do is badmouth their father. Oh, your father wasn't shit, he left us, this and that and the other, while leaving out the details as to why he left. This isn't to say that all fathers who leave their kids, didn't do it just because he just felt like it. But there are always two sides to every story. People always say, well, my father left us when I was 5 years old. But what mom doesn't tell you is that she was cheating on him. She was cheating on your father with the next door neighbor, or fucking a guy at work. He found out about it and said, I'm out of here. Now, yes, it's fucked up that he left his kids, but it is what it is. I mean, men don't leave women for just no reason. There are always two sides to every story. So, in that particular situation, if a woman is raised by a single mother, it is highly unlikely that she has respect for men. By the same token, even if a woman was raised in a traditional nuclear family, she had a mother, a father, brothers and sisters, if she was raised in a two-parent home, you have to find out what kind of father he was, okay? If he was a beta father, if he was the kind of father that television shows and commercials and movies, though the media demeans dads. You turn on any sitcom and the father is always a bungling idiot. He doesn't know what's going on. He's inadequate. He is unnecessary. He is just there to pay the bills, and all of the females in the house just talk to him any kind of way. There are a lot of dads out there who are like that. And if they have daughters, their daughters are not going to have respect for men. And a woman who does not have an inherent respect for men as a result of being raised by a single mother or a weak father is not going to make it. She is not going to be relationship material. And listen, by the time she's 18, 19 years old, it is already too late. The next thing you have to find out is, did she go to a traditional four-year college? This one isn't complicated at all. girls who go to traditional 4-year colleges, in other words, they stay and they live on campus. No woman, and I mean absolutely zero. I'm going to be definitive. I'm not going to qualify this statement. If a woman attended a 4-year college or university, she is not long term relationship material. Girls, when they go to college, they just become sluts. They fuck every guy they can. They suck every cock because now they don't live at home. And everybody on campus is fucking a bunch of guys. And the feminist culture tells them to get it out of their system in college. So, in college, they're fucking 70, 80, 100 guys who maybe even more. And if you find out that she was in a sorority, like, if you find out that she went to a 4-year college, okay, fine. You already know she's not going to be good for long-term relationship material. But you might not even have to find that out. If you find out that she was in a sorority, then she's out of there. Honestly, use her as a fuck friend, use her as a side chick. A female in 2017 who went to a 4-year college, and this is starting back in the 90s, okay? Because I went to college from 95 to 99, and girls were epic sluts. I can't even imagine what they're like now. So if a woman went to a 4-year college, and if she was in a sorority, she's out. She's out of the running. Another thing to pay attention to is, does she keep a tidy house? Does she keep her place clean? I'm not saying that she has to be OCD and everything has to have its place and, she gives her house the white glove treatment every time she comes home, but it can't be a junk pit either. If you walk into her bathroom and she's got, toilet paper everywhere, wet towels and rags, there's makeup strewn all over the place. Again, it doesn't have to be perfectly clean, but it has to be livable. Fellow Return of Kings writer a while back by the name of Aviator. One of the best. You guys have to check out his archive. This guy is a fucking bomb thrower, and I'm hoping to have him on the show soon. But he wrote an article entitled "If There's a Mess on the Floor, She's Probably a Whore." The bottom line here, what that message is, and I agree with it, a woman who keeps a messy home doesn't have any discipline or respect for her surroundings, okay? And if she doesn't take care of where she lives, if she doesn't take care of where she lays her head every night, she's not going to take care of you. Not only does she not know how to take care of you, it shows that she doesn't really have the desire to. So if you could see, like, honestly, think about it. If you think about what it would be like to live with a woman who keeps a trashy place, guess what, guys? Like, she's not going to all of a sudden change because she's living with somebody. She's still going to be the slob she was before she moved in with you. Another thing to look out for, and this is very, very important, guys. Does she offer to assist you in your goals or endeavors? Okay? Is she supportive, okay, or does she not care? So if you tell your woman, hey, I'm gonna start a new business, right? If she's kind of like, oh, that's nice, okay, okay, whatever. I hope you do well, or whatever the case may be. Not long-term relationship material, because she's showing you that she doesn't care. Okay, she's showing you that she is selfish, and she's probably showing you that she probably isn't going to stay with you long-term. But a woman who is worthy of being in a long-term relationship with you, she will be supportive. She'll say, "Oh, that's exciting. What's the business plan? Is there anything I can do to help?" Women who support, and it's funny, like you'll notice this trend. A lot of attorneys have a lot of attorneys secretaries or paralegals are their wives. That's the perfect dynamic. That is the perfect red pill dynamic. She's obviously, because an attorney who has his own practice is running his own business, and his wife is there supporting him. That's how that works. So if you're going to embark on a project or try to reach a goal, or you're training for a decathlon, whatever the case may be, if your woman supports you and if she offers to help you in that endeavor, that is a good sign. That doesn't necessarily mean she's a keeper, but that's a plus. If she doesn't care, she's probably not going to be around for very long. This one is obvious. Does she have alcoholism or drug use in her present and in her past? This one again isn't complicated. If the girl that you're seeing is, if she tells you, hey, I'm 3 years sober, if she tells you, yeah, I've had, 3 years and 15 days of sobriety, you got to dismiss her. You got it. And listen, you do whatever you want, but I'm letting you know that, and you can tell me, oh, she's changed and she has all of these qualities and this and that and the other. But guess what, guys? Women who have past problems with alcohol abuse and drug abuse, guys, they have fucked a shitload of men. I said in a recent podcast that if a woman does a lot of drugs, if she was an alcoholic, if she drinks a lot, guys, that leads to sex and a lot of it. Girls hardly ever drink. The only time women drink alone is when they're not fuckable. They're either old, ugly, fat, or all three. Those are the kinds of women who drink wine and watch rom-coms and cry themselves to sleep, with Cheetos in their bed. But women who are mildly attractive, who have a history of drinking or drugs in her past, you can trust and believe every time she will have a notch count into the triple digits. And any woman who has a notch count into the triple, listen, a woman who has notch count over 50, at that point, look, man, there's no way she's ever going to make even a half decent significant other. You can tell, and listen, for men and women listening to this, you can tell me whatever you want, man. This is how it is. Broken men can be fixed. Broken women can't be fixed, guys. And congratulate her on her sobriety, but guess what, man? Now you got to downgrade her. You're not going to commit to a female who has substance abuse in her past. That is unwise for you to do. Another thing that you need to consider is she on antidepressants or anti-anxiety meds? A woman who is on antidepressants or on anti-anxiety meds, we all know them: Zoloft, Paxil, Lamictal, etc., etc. She's emotionally unstable. There's a chemical imbalance in her brain, and here's the thing: women are, how can I put this? A woman who is on any sort of behavior altering drugs, antidepressants, or anti anxiety meds, these are women with epically slutty pasts, okay? Again, I've said it before. Women who get fucked by a lot of guys, this is not what they should be doing. Sluts can talk about how they have fun and, oh, feminism and I'm going to get it out of my system. But guys, getting fucked by dudes into the hundreds, sometimes even into the thousands, that is a fucking mind job for a woman. They are devaluing themselves both mentally and physically, and they know it, no matter what they say. So when they've slowed down, when they're about to hit the wall, they can't lock down a man because they've got the thousand cock stare. Listen, man, they got to get to sleep somehow. They got to make it through the day somehow without slitting their wrist. Well, what a lot of these women are doing are getting on antidepressants or anti-anxiety meds. Women who are on these medications have slutty pasts, and they probably have alcohol or drug use in their past. I know a lot of people. There are two schools of thoughts on mental illness, and I happen to be one who buys into mental illness. Mental illness. Mental illness is real. There are people out there who have chemical imbalances, anger problems, depression, bipolar, etc. But there are so many women who are on these drugs. You have to know and understand that most of them are on these drugs because they were epic sluts. They have to take these medications to deal with the fact that their lifestyle has rendered them worthless, and they know it. They have to take these drugs so they don't slit their wrists as a result of their past or present lifestyles. Another question, something else that you'll have to consider: has she ever had an abortion? Any woman who has killed an unborn child within her is not long-term relationship material. These women, listen, again, a woman who has had an abortion, she is mentally, listen, she's going to be depressed, she's going to be anxious. She lives with that every day. All right. And at some point, like I said before, she'll end up on antidepressants or anti anxiety meds. Because killing a child, killing your child before it is born within you, that is a mind job. That is not the right thing to do. And women know this. They can sit here and talk about, well, I did it because of this and I feel good that I did the right thing. No, 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 no. When their head hits the pillow that night, they are thinking about that kid every day of their lives. I have a mother and two sisters, and I am not proud to say that they have all had abortions, and two of the three of them have had multiple abortions. They, oh my God, it's sad, but it's true. I love my mother and I love my sisters, but they gotta live with this every day, man. Like, it really fucks them up in the head. Plus, a woman who has an abortion shows how fucked up and selfish she is. She'd rather kill a kid than inconvenience herself by maybe having the kid and putting it up for adoption. No, she chose the easy way out, and it costs them. And I will repeat this again, any woman who has had an abortion for any reason is never long-term relationship material. Period. If you find out the girl you are seeing has ever had an abortion, keep fucking her or whatever, but do not commit to her long term. You are making a grave mistake. Something else to ask, or something else to consider, is your woman generous or is she selfish? Okay, a woman who is generous will, she'll cook for you. She'll work to please you in bed. She'll wear slutty clothing for you. Women who are selfish, I remember I was fucking this one chick. Dude, she had her ears pierced, but she never wore earrings, and she always wore jeans and a t-shirt. She just didn't. She just didn't try. Her house was a wreck, and she drove like this little Toyota Yaris, and like she didn't even have the hubcaps on her car. She's like, one left. I just decided to take them all off. It's like she just didn't take care of herself, and she didn't do anything to really make herself look good for me. Now this was actually right after I had learned game. So, my options at that point I thought were limited. I didn't really have the game level that I do now. So I think I was with her for maybe 2 or 3 months or so. But she was the quintessential example of someone who was selfish. I've also like the woman that I'm grooming to be my main chick now. She is generous as dude. She is generous as hell. Like, dude, she gave me an epic birthday, gave me an epic Christmas. Dude, she bought me an Echo Dot for Christmas. I mean, like, this woman spoils me rotten, and she never throws it in my face. She doesn't say, "Well, I did this for you, so you need." No, she does this because she genuinely loves and respects me, and she likes to do nice things for me. She is a genuinely generous person, and the only thing she wants in return is my time and attention. And hey, I'm more than willing to give it to her. Any woman who does things for you, any woman who does things for you, and they say, well, they're keeping score. That's a selfish woman. She did things for you, but she did things for you so that you can do things for her. A truly generous woman will do things for you because she wants to see you happy. Reward her with your time and attention. Does she take care of herself? This one's easy, guys. And this sort of goes back to the whole alcohol and drug abuse thing. But is she fat? Does she smoke? Okay. Listen, women who are fat don't have discipline. Okay. They don't have the stick-to-itiveness that it takes to maintain a half-decent physique. Women who smoke clearly don't care about their long-term health. Listen, why are you going to commit? Why are you going to commit to a woman who's fat long term if she's going to have a shitload of health problems down the road? Why are you going to commit to a woman long term if with every cigarette she lights up, she brings herself closer to lung cancer? And yeah, I know. Listen, man, like most people who smoke don't get lung cancer, but listen, man, like I don't like women who smoke. They smell bad. They got to step out. No, If you're smoking, if you're fat, if you have unhealthy choices, if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to take care of me. She's out. This is a big one. Can she cook? Okay. I'm not saying that your woman has to be a Michelin star chef to be in the running to be your main chick. Okay. If she's listen, if she's half decent in the kitchen, if she tries to do well in the kitchen, listen, man, if she occasionally burns something, oh, hey, whatever, man. As long as she keeps working at it, then you can seriously consider her for long-term companionship. Cooking is a feminine trait, and it is a generous trait. If a woman cooks for you, or at least gives it an honest try, this means that she not only has discipline, but she is generous. She wants to make you happy, and she listen. All women know that men want women who can cook. No matter what women say, well, men can cook for themselves. Yeah, I mean, listen, man. Like I'm decent in the kitchen, but my woman's got to cook for me, and if she doesn't cook for me, or if she doesn't really try, then she's out. That's that's just how it is. Something else to consider. Is she genuinely kind? Okay. Is your woman the fake kind, or kind only when she needs to be? Okay, until she's a bitch, or is she just genuinely a kind person? Okay? Women who are kind often don't like confrontation because they don't want to be a bitch. It's not in them to be a bitch. Okay? I'll use my girl as an example. She listen, man, like there's not a mean bone in her body. Like there really isn't. And yeah, I'll raise my voice at her, and she doesn't yell back. She's never a bitch. And listen, guys, dude, I have laid into my girl many, many times. And I can't remember one time where she ever snapped back and started yelling at me. She's genuinely a kind person, and she doesn't fake it. This is who she is. Being a bitch will be her natural state, because a lot of women out there will fake kindness, okay? But if she's a bitch at heart, eventually it's going to come it's going to come to the surface, because she'll fall back to her natural state when the shit gets real. All right? If she's genuinely kind, if she is a kind female, she'll be much better behaved, during times of strife or unrest in your relationship. The next thing to consider, who are her role models? Okay. Does she admire? Now, listen. All women consume media. All women watch TV. That's how it is. But not all TV is bad TV. Okay. Are her role models Giada De Laurentiis and Rachel Ray, or Kathy Griffin and the Kardashians? All right. What does she watch on TV? Does she watch pointless reality shows that talk about infidelity and look at me, or does she watch cooking shows or home improvement shows? A woman who watches cooking shows or home improvement shows or shows about that shows you what kind of person she is. It shows you what she values. Especially if she watches home improvement shows, because she values house and home. She values family. A woman who's a feminist, or who's just looking for the next cock or the next score, I'm just going to be a slut till I die. She's not interested in cooking shows. She doesn't give a shit about animals. She doesn't want to learn about the African elephant. She doesn't she's not going to learn. She's just not going to watch home improvement shows. She's going to live in an apartment until the day she dies, or some loft or whatever guy she can sucker into shacking up with her. Here's a big one, and I think we all know what this one is. What is her mother like? Okay? Is her mother fat? Is her mother a slut? Did her mother get married? Is she still with her husband? Does she have children with other men? Does she have multiple boyfriends or husbands? Is her mom undisciplined? A lot of women have disdain and disrespect. I mean, they fight with their mothers all the time, but at some point, women emulate their mothers, whether they know it, like it, or not. If her mother is overweight, chances are she's gonna be overweight when she gets to be that age. If her mother, listen, sluts raise sluts. If she was raised around a slutty mother, guess what? She's gonna be a slut. If her mother was a man eater, guess what? She's gonna be going through a bunch of guys. She's got a slutty past. If she has a bunch of kids with a bunch of men, multiple boyfriends or husband, this goes to the fact that she doesn't respect men. If she had a bad mother growing up, if she had a mother who was a slut, who disrespected men, who just again, single mothers are the worst parents on earth. They are. There's no question about it. I'm not going to retract the statement. Single mothers fucking blow. I have never met a single mother who is a good parent. And unfortunately, girls are born to these single mothers. And these single mothers are slutty, they're nefarious, they're sneaky, they've always got something up their sleeve. If her mother's like that, then guess what? She has inherited a lot of those habits, whether she knows it, likes it, or not. The last thing to consider is she consistent? Does she do what she says she's going to do? All right. In a past episode, I think it was like episode 80, why you should never believe what a woman says, even if she's telling the truth at the time, is because women can say anything, all right? But most of them don't follow through, all right? Some will tell you that they have plans to do X, Y, or Z, but they decide not to because they're tired or distracted. And again, she doesn't need to have a laundry list of things to do, okay? She doesn't have to want to conquer the world and I'm going to clean the house and do 18 loads of... No, she doesn't have to be like that. But if a woman tells you, yeah, I'm going to, cook XYZ tonight, and she does it, that's a good thing. If a woman says, yes, I'm gonna hit the gym 3 times this week, then again, you want a woman who does what she says she's gonna do. This happens to be a flaw in my main chick. And again, it comes from a good place. She'll tell me, Donovan, and I said this before, Donovan, I'm going to tan 3 times this week, and I'm going to get my nails done and my hair done and this and that and the other. And then when the rubber meets the road, she either gets tired or distracted. She ends up not doing it. That's not a deal breaker as far as I'm concerned, because she has many other qualities that make that more than make up for that deficiency in her personality. But if you have a woman who consistently does exactly what she says she's going to do, that is absolutely a good sign. So I've given you guys a lot to think about. And again, there are many, many more things out there that you should ask about, that you should inquire about, that you should quiz your woman about. And again, like I said at the top of the episode, don't sit her down with a list and say, okay, I'm going to ask you about these things, because guess what? She's going to lie about 95% of it anyway. You're going to have to find these things out by spending time with her. But you have to understand, as soon as you find out she had a substance abuse problem, guys, you have to hit the eject button. Don't stick around and try to save her or try to find... No, if she had a substance abuse problem in the past, man, she is not long-term relationship material. If she keeps a dirty home, okay, that's not a deal breaker. But then if you find out but then if you learn that she doesn't have respect for men, if she talks to men just any old kind of way, guys, she's got to go. Okay. There are other things that you will learn along the way that I didn't cover in this particular episode that will give you a good idea in terms of what kind of woman she is, and if she is worth committing to, if she's worth investing time and effort and energy to outside of sex. Every woman is different, but I think I've given you guys a pretty thorough and comprehensive list, at least for starters, in terms of what to vet a woman for when it comes to considering her for long-term relationship material, or at least the possibility of it. That concludes this edition of TSR. Sign up for my weekly newsletter on donovansharp.com to stay up to date on all things TSR, and be sure to subscribe to my channel if you like my content, and don't forget to like the video, guys. Thanks for listening.